It's inspirational. So then, so like for me personally, I consider myself somewhat of a historian.
Yeah.
Um, even with the podcast, it's my way of documenting people's stories. I've actually interviewed my mom before, so feels
Okay.
like when I first started with the that's when I first started with the podcast. So of course, it was awkward for her and awkward for me, but I think we don't sit around with our elders enough and hear their stories and even take them back to their own childhoods. Because I literally asked her, Mom, can you tell me a little bit more about, how things were when you grew up? Um, what are some things you remember about life growing up in Nigeria? And what are some things that you remember about when you first came to the country? So for me, documenting our history through this podcast, through these conversations, even through pictures, I love. Of course, I'm not as great as you at your art, but at my phone I have like almost 8,000 photos. I'm always like documenting, special moments. So that's extremely important to me, um, because as we know, like even when you look at pictures of our grandparents or our forefathers and foremothers, like just kind of seeing those images, obviously they typically don't smile in those photos.
Yeah.
um, Many of them say nothing was funny, so nothing to smile about. But I think just kind of seeing them in their youth, for those who have passed, seeing them when they were still around, just trying to imagine, how life was for them, what the world was like through their lens, as you mentioned, like with your camera. So I just think it's beautiful, and I'm really thankful, to even have this conversation with you. Thanks for like all the insight and everything that you shared, and it was a great discussion. So, as we round up, if you have any, I guess, words of inspiration to either those who might want to get into photography. I know you mentioned a little bit, but any words of encouragement for those who are aspiring photographers, or those who want to learn Igbo, or just anything you'd like to say to the listeners and the viewers, and how they can connect with you for your services or anything like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you for all that. You are a great host. I like the way you tied all this up. Great interviewer. So thank you
Thank
again
you.
for this opportunity. And yeah, I mean, photography is a cyclical journey. It's a lifelong journey. I think it's best to do this because you want to make smiles and help people. It's gonna take a while. I mean, I don't. Thank you for your compliments, but I'm gonna definitely try to take them as a person who always wants to continually improve. I do
Right.
appreciate that. Um, uh, yeah, I was very flattered by what you said, and I think that if someone's into art, photography, anything like that, um, yeah, try your best to. YouTube is great. Try your best to study light. Start off with a small, affordable camera. I recommend Nikon's because they kind of lay all the buttons out
Hmm.
easier and things like that. And I've tried other camera brands, and they're good as well too. But I kind of have purchased a bunch of equipment, so now it's kind of like a little difficult to switch brands. But like, so I guess I'm a little bit biased there. But either way, learning Igbo is also this. I would just tell people to. You can start off with a name. You can hit me up for an Igbo name. You can start off with your name if you are already Igbo. Try to understand what your name means. Work towards maybe find someone who you can speak Igbo with, maybe a parent, maybe someone in Nigeria, watch Nollywood movies. Find something that makes you, for me, it's like, comedy or something like that. Find something that makes you want to learn it. That way it doesn't seem like a chore, you know?
Right.
So, because if it doesn't seem like a chore to you, then you'll always want to do it. And yeah, so you guys can find me everywhere. It's Chukwunonso Captures on Twitter. It's Chukwu_1, but Facebook, Chukwunonso Captures, Instagram, TikTok. I'm basically on every single platform. YouTube as well too. Just started a YouTube channel a few months ago, and just so speaking of photographers, putting a lot of tutorials and stuff on there. Everything that I've learned all throughout the years, I'm always learning new concepts. There's always new technology that comes out, and
Right.
new techniques. So you're never like the best photographers. So many other photographers out there who I think are way better than me. I'm always inspired and awed and humbled all the time by what they're able to do. And I just want to be able to get to that stage. Well, not get to that stage, but get to a point where the cyclical journey is a little bit more, I don't know what I'm looking for, but so I would just encourage people to just stick with it. It's worth it. It's worth the journey.
Right.
Yeah, the destination is born. The journey is where it's at. I hope I answered all your questions. Is there anything else?
Yeah, you did an incredible job. Thank you so much, Nonso. I really appreciate it.
All right, thank you.